In the Easter season, our first readings are not from the Old Testament, but from the Acts of the Apostles. And the logic is based on the practice of looking forward from the resurrection and balances the Easter vigils looking back on our salvation history. If you've ever attended an Easter vigil, you know that the first readings are from the history of salvation, from creation, through Moses, through Abraham, and so on. And we have been hearing in Acts about the Pauls and Barnabases of the church. These free-rolling heroes of mission work, hopping from place to place, the wind at their backs and the infinite possibilities ahead. Their strength in facing whatever adversity may come. But we, the church, are so much larger, so much stronger, and so much more diverse than the Pauls and Barnabases. Then and now. St. Ignatius knew this, and so he called everyone, no matter what their state in life is, to take time in retreat and prayer and be at work with the creative God who can and will work through everyone and everything. And even Paul and Barnabas knew this, appointing elders for each church, strengthening its disciples and letting it thrive locally. And today we hear about two more, Silas and Barsabbas. Now, our gospel readings from John are centered around Jesus' farewell discourse to his disciples. Today we hear, "Do not let your hearts be troubled," and that the Holy Spirit, the advocate, will be sent to us to guide us and support us. These are comforting words that I crave, but I can't force myself not to be troubled. Little things and big things have their way of seeping into my conscious awareness and my unconscious self. Jesus tells something we want to hear and to know: freedom from worry. Now, when I'm in consolation and Jesus feels near to me, I can overlook difficulties and unpleasant realities. I can say, it'll all work out. And if I move forward, leaning into the advocate, the Holy Spirit, the same Spirit that accompanied Paul and Barnabas, Silas and Barsabbas. But when I'm discouraged, frustrated, disappointed, when I'm filled with anxiety about work and with life, and when Jesus is hidden from me, my heart is troubled. I know in my heart the Holy Spirit is there, but my head blocks its path. Now, the total number of saints that the church has honored over the years is over 10,000. Most of them are unknown to us. They too dealt with the same problems that I have, same problems that likely you have as well. I guess there were times when their hearts were troubled. The Holy Spirit was with them. The advocate was with them, spoke to them. Now, we don't know how, but it was probably in the way that many of us attain insight: at prayer, on a walk, or at work, in our normal, everyday lives. This faith that saves us and cushions us through the blessings and trials of life, poverty and prosperity, health and illness, sickness and sorrow. Each of us experience them in unique, different ways. Our awareness that in so many ways our faith is provisional and not fully formed gives us good reason to pray to the Holy Spirit for strength and an increased faith. The Spirit quietly makes us able to say yes to faith, not by brutalizing us or overriding us, but inviting us. Jesus is with us by means of his Holy Spirit living with us, in us. He remains with us. This last several weeks we've heard this. In Jesus' farewell discourse from John, we hear Jesus say, "Remain with me and I with you. We hear it again today. My peace I give you. Not as the world gives do I give it to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid. In the world you will have trouble, but take courage. He hopes we will all accept that offer of his Spirit. You may not be in the limelight today. No one is likely putting your name at the head of a chapter or a book, or you'll find it on some sign along the highway. But you can fast. You can pray. You can give alms. You can listen for the voice of the advocate, the Holy Spirit. The Spirit that was with Paul and Barnabas. The Spirit that was with Silas and Barsabbas. And the same Spirit that was with the 10,000 saints throughout history. When we act on that voice, we too will make history, even if nobody recognizes our name.